Roman Reigns destroys Finn Balor at Elimination Chamber. The best and worst options to win the Women's Elimination Chamber match. Oba Femi sent to WWE Main Event. A huge announcement on The Rock. Drew McIntyre calls out Roman Reigns and CM Punk's disrespect. Cody Rhodes is lost without the WWE title. And much, much more, starting with the best and worst options to win the Women's Elimination Chamber match. Alexa Bliss, Rhea Ripley, Asuka, and Tiffany Stratton have qualified for the WWE Women's Elimination Chamber match in Chicago. Charlotte Flair and Sky are the favorites to win the remaining 2 qualifiers. Flair faces Nia Jax and Kiana James on SmackDown, while Sky battles Kairi Sane and Raquel Rodriguez on Raw. The only 2 women who weren't in singles title matches at last year's WrestleMania were Alexa Bliss and Asuka. Liv Morgan will likely choose Stephanie Baker, especially after their exchange on the latest Raw. That's likely to be the case again this year. Due to how poorly Jade Cargill's reign has been handled, certain winners make more sense than others. Here are the best and 2 worst options to win the Women's Chamber match. Number 1, Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss is just as important to the women's division as Flair, Becky Lynch, or Bayley. She was the unofficial 5th horsewoman of NXT, as she's been a fixture in the division since 2016. Despite her popularity and ability to portray different characters, Triple H and the Bookers haven't considered her on the same level as Lynch, Flair, or Ripley. Using that and her underdog status would be a smart choice this year. Having her win the Elimination Chamber would hopefully end her tag team with Flair. Bookers probably want to turn her heel on Flair, but Bliss as the underdog against the arrogant Cargill is easy to write. With Rhodes and Reigns around, it doesn't matter who faces the storm, because they won't main event either night. Number 2, Sky. Cargill may be a top star in WWE, but she still needs an opponent who can lead the matches. Sky is one of the best wrestlers in the world, and would also provide the underdog aspect if she won the Elimination Chamber. She hasn't won an Elimination Chamber match or a Royal Rumble. Winning one would increase her standing. It would also shake up the rosters if she defeated the Storm. There's also the history between Damage Control and Cargill when the roles were reversed. Number 3, Asuka isn't ideal. Asuka is one of the best performers in the industry. She's won an Elimination Chamber match before. Despite her status as one of the top women in WWE, a potential date with Jade Cargill at WrestleMania isn't ideal. Both stars are heels, so it would be a strange dynamic at the biggest show of the year. The Empress could carry the Storm to a good match if she wins, but Triple H needs a clear heel versus face clash in Las Vegas. Number 4, Rhea Ripley. Despite essentially throwing a tantrum last year until she was added to the match, Ripley presents one of the best options to oppose Cargill in Las Vegas. She's extremely over with the fans and has experience on the stage of WrestleMania. Beating Cargill must be on the table due to her underwhelming run as champion. Mommy winning is believable, especially since she's known as one of the most imposing women in WWE. Number 5, Tiffany Stratton. While it would be another showdown between the 2 rivals, Tiffany Stratton winning the Elimination Chamber would be one of the best options. She's never won the match or a Royal Rumble, which is something that should be considered when picking the winner. The SmackDown women's division fell into disarray once Cargill dethroned Stratton. Having the center of the universe reclaim her title would at least reset things for the second half of 2026. She wouldn't have to hold it all year again, but the division needs stabilizing after a disappointing past 6 months. Number 6, Charlotte Flair again? Would a matchup between Charlotte Flair and Jade Cargill make some sense? Of course. They've had a few stare-downs and are considered 2 of the strongest women in wrestling. The problem is that Flair won the 2025 Royal Rumble. She was Iron Woman in the 2026 Rumble, despite her teammate Bliss getting eliminated 13 minutes into the match. The Queen has had more than her fair share of chances. There are better options this year. If WWE isn't sure of the plans, then booking a multi-woman match could be an option. Flair could be added, but someone else should get the honor of winning the Elimination Chamber match. Bad Bunny's status for WWE WrestleMania leaked. WWE isn't done with Bad Bunny, and now there's a fresh update that puts him right back in the WrestleMania conversation. According to Fightful Select, citing WrestleVotes Radio, WWE has already been in contact with Bad Bunny's representatives well before the Super Bowl, checking on his availability and interest for WrestleMania. Those discussions were described as positive, and one source made it clear the company would absolutely welcome him back, even if it's just for an appearance and not necessarily a match. That update adds R to what's already been building publicly, especially after Logan Paul openly admitted that a match between the two has been talked about behind the scenes. There have been talks about maybe us wrestling. It's been floated around. I've been candid about the fact that I'd love to do it. I think it would be the greatest WWE match of all time. I really believe that. Paul's comments helped push the idea into the spotlight, but this latest update confirms WWE has been doing its own work behind the scenes to make something happen with Bad Bunny. regardless of whether that match materializes. Bad Bunny hasn't wrestled since May 2023, when he defeated Damian Priest in a San Juan street fight that delivered one of the loudest crowd reactions in recent memory. Since then, every time his name comes up around WWE, it's immediately tied to the question of when, not if, he'll return. Even Paul admitted his recent comments about Bad Bunny, including his reaction to the Super Bowl halftime show, were at least partially strategic, designed to spark conversation and get people talking. To set that up, when I'm asked if I'm excited, saying no. One word, now people are talking about it. I'd say 80 to 20, 80 being work. Now, with WWE actively maintaining contact and showing clear interest, the possibility of Bad Bunny appearing at WrestleMania feels a lot more real, whether that ends up being a full match. Oba Femi sent to WWE main event. Oba Femi just got called up to the WWE main roster and has immediately become one of the top stars in the company. The star has not wasted any time in making himself a huge presence on the main roster, and it looks like he's only days away from becoming a champion. While fans may have to wait for that, there is some unfortunate news surrounding the star. While Oba Femi has been offered contracts by both WWE Raw and SmackDown, and he is set to appear likely on SmackDown as well this week after his recent appearance on Raw, the star has yet to wrestle properly on either brand. He's had a few brief appearances and matches, but no real feud to occupy him. It looked like a feud against Rusev was starting up for him as well after the recent episode of Raw, but it has not been confirmed yet. The star has instead been booked on WWE main event. Usually, the stars being booked on main event are those without active proper storylines on Raw or SmackDown, so the fact that he is appearing on the show so soon after his call-up may not be the best news for him. He faced Joaquin Wilde, and it was not a quick squash either. It took him quite some time to beat him. There is an alternate version of events, where WWE wants him to be ring fit and ready to wrestle, by keeping him in practice, but that has not been confirmed as of now. It seems the company doesn't have a set creative for him, and with only weeks before WrestleMania, it remains to be seen what's next for him ahead of the event and whether he ends up getting the big appearance fans want. Given that he is expected to be a main eventer very soon, fans will be staying tuned to what happens. Tiffany Stratton goes back to bodybuilding. Tiffany Stratton is entering the Elimination Chamber next weekend. She would be focused on punching her ticket to WrestleMania 42, coming from the fact that she nearly missed out on her Royal Rumble winning opportunity. Whether she makes it to Mania or not, she is surely fulfilling her second dream in bodybuilding around that time. Tiffany Stratton posted a TikTok saying she will be competing in her second bodybuilding show in about 9 weeks. She would be stepping on the bodybuilding stage again. Tiffany mentioned that her love for bodybuilding mainly got her signed to WWE, which paused her dream of pursuing it further. However, now, she is in a position where her wrestling job and bodybuilding passion can be balanced. The video was part 1 of Stratton's mini diaries documenting her 9-week routine leading up to the bodybuilding show. In the video later, she showed her pre-workout concoction, an outfit check, her ride to the gym, her shoulder and tricep workout, cardio, and her way back home too. Tiffany started with gymnastics and found her passion for sport. Later, an injury ended her gymnastic career and led her to bodybuilding. However, even that changed gears and took her into professional wrestling. It was the SmackDown after the Royal Rumble, where the first Elimination Chamber qualification match was held. Tiffany Stratton became the first one to qualify for the Elimination Chamber there. Later on Raw, Rhea Ripley punched her ticket to Chicago. On the next Raw, Alexa Bliss did the same, and on the next Raw again, Asuka qualified. As of this writing, Stratton has Ripley, Bliss, and Asuka as her competitors. On next SmackDown, either Nia Jax, Charlotte Flair, or Kiana James will secure their spot. Finally, on Raw, Sky versus Raquel Rodriguez versus Kairi Sane would be the last battle for the final spot. A huge announcement on The Rock. The Rock is one of the most legendary stars in the history of professional wrestling. The People's Champion has been involved in some of the most electrifying stories that the WWE has produced over the years. He has now dropped a major announcement regarding his Project Rock brand. The Brahma Bull has had a successful career even outside professional wrestling. He is one of the most popular faces in Hollywood and is also a successful entrepreneur with his Project Rock brand. Amidst his WWE hiatus, he shared an announcement regarding the brand on his X account. In his latest X post, The Rock promoted the first shoe that the brand had started selling back in 2017. This 2017 black and gold colorway was at Project Rock's first ever training shoe. Brings me immense gratitude and motivation to continue to deliver the best in training shoes and fitness wear for our ever-growing Project Rock culture. A lot has changed since 2017, but the hunger hasn't. Remember your why, he wrote. Project Rock is a The Rock's apparel brand that sells athletic clothes and accessories. Miami's own made his last WWE appearance at last year's Elimination Chamber Premium Live event. He came out after John Cena won the Men's Elimination Chamber match to confront him and Cody Rhodes. After the American Nightmare declined Rock's offer to become his champion, the Brahma Bull revealed his true plan. On The Rock's command, John Cena turned heel by hitting Cody with a low blow. This kick-started Cena's run as a heel, which culminated into Cena winning his 17th World Championship at WrestleMania. Despite being one of the cornerstones of Cena's heel turn, the final boss didn't make a single WWE appearance after Elimination Chamber. It will be interesting to see when the fans will get to see the People's Champion back in a WWE ring. Drew McIntyre calls out Roman Reigns and CM Punk's disrespect. Drew McIntyre isn't losing sleep over Roman Reigns and CM Punk taking shots at him, but what they said about SmackDown and the title? That's a different story. After the Raw, following Royal Rumble saw Reigns choose CM Punk for WrestleMania, and both men take verbal jabs at McIntyre, the undisputed WWE title, and SmackDown as a whole. McIntyre responded on SmackDown with a fired-up message to the locker room. Now, he's opening up about what actually got under his skin. Speaking on Busted Open Radio, McIntyre made it clear the personal shots didn't bother him, but the disrespect towards SmackDown did. That's the part that more got my attention. I don't care, say whatever you want about me. I can protect myself and look after myself verbally. They weren't even that bad. Whatever one person said, the other one defended me. Instead, McIntyre pointed to how the comments made SmackDown and the championship feel secondary, especially coming from two of the biggest names in the company. It was the stuff about the title and SmackDown, making it feel a little less than when they're such big superstars. Just focus on the title and each other. That frustration is what led to his passionate promo on SmackDown, where he tried to rally the entire roster and send a message about pride in the brand. I went out, did a Braveheart speech on Friday because I was legitimately upset. As far as I'm concerned, it's done. It seems to be done now. They're focused on their stuff, we're focused on our stuff. McIntyre didn't stop there, making it clear he expects everyone on SmackDown to step up and prove they belong, while reminding them of the kind of locker room leadership he came up under. Hopefully, the SmackDown roster saw that and said, every time I'm in that ring, I'm going to bring it 150% and show you all that I belong on this show, and SmackDown is the A show. I remember being in the locker room when Taker was in charge, and he would get so angry when he saw the numbers and Raw was beating us on a tour. Go out there, bust your ass, and if you don't, I'll kick you out the door. He also made it clear that while he may not be loud backstage, he won't hesitate to step in if standards aren't being met. I'm very quiet back there. I'll give you advice when you come to me, but if you're bringing the show down, I'll suddenly appear in front of you like magic, and I'll kick your ass out the door. With WrestleMania season heating up, McIntyre is now waiting to find out his own path, as his opponent will be determined at Elimination Chamber. But one thing is clear, he's putting the SmackDown locker room on notice. Cody Rhodes is lost without the WWE title. The conversation turned toward Cody showing up at McIntyre's home, something the hosts framed as crossing a line in any competitive setting. That opened the door for McIntyre to completely flip the narrative and defend his actions while putting the spotlight directly on Rhodes. On paper, like if you just don't listen to the reactions, look at everything on paper. He is the bad guy. He's the petty one. McIntyre didn't stop there. He went deeper into what he believes is driving Rhodes, claiming that everything about Cody revolves around the championship, and without it, things start to fall apart. I said this. All that matters to Cody Rhodes is the title. It's what he lives and dies by. Without it, who is he? And we've seen who he is. He's cracking. He's lost his mind. According to McIntyre, that desperation has led Rhodes to act out in ways that reveal his true character, especially as he tries to fight his way back into title contention. He's resorting to whatever he has to resort to try and, I don't know, get the title back, get the opportunity again. McIntyre then delivered his harshest shot yet, claiming Rhodes without the title isn't the same person fans see when he's on top, but Cody Rhodes without the title is a broken man, a petty man, and revealing the true self, which is a very, very selfish man. He wants the spotlight on himself. The comments make it clear that McIntyre sees himself as justified in everything that's unfolded, especially after what he views as a personal boundary being crossed. Instead of backing down, he's leaning all the way into this version of himself, one that doesn't care how it's received as long as he's telling his truth. LA Knight removed from WrestleMania 42 due to a backstage fight. A few hours back, a post popped up on X, suggesting that LA Knight won't appear at WrestleMania 42 this year after getting involved in a backstage fight in WWE. The post attributed the rumor to Dave Meltzer's Wrestling Observer newsletter. The megastar made his stunning return at Royal Rumble 2026 after spending a few weeks on the sidelines. He had a decent showing overall, as he got to eliminate the likes of Austin Theory and Bronson Reed before being taken out by Cody Rhodes. LA Knight has now also qualified for the upcoming Men's Elimination Chamber match after besting Theory and Penta in a three-way match. Amid this, an X-handle claimed that Knight will not compete at WrestleMania 42 after being involved in a backstage fight due to his poor booking in WWE. Dave Meltzer, whose Wrestling Observer newsletter was cited as the source of the rumor, was quick to clarify that it was false and that there was no such report. Considering LA Knight is involved in a long-running feud with The Vision and is now in contention to challenge Drew McIntyre for the undisputed title, a recent report regarding WWE's plans for him surprised fans. It was noted that the megastar was internally listed to feud and face none other than Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 42. The Beast incarnate himself was long expected to wrestle Oba Femi at Mania, with the seeds for the rivalry even sown at Royal Rumble 2026, where Lesnar eliminated Femi. Lesnar is slated to return to WWE on the upcoming edition of Raw. Fans can expect to finally receive some clarity on who the company plans to pit him against at the grandest stages of them all come Monday night. Roman Reigns destroys Finn Balor at Elimination Chamber. Roman Reigns has once again entered the world title picture after winning the 2026 Men's Royal Rumble match and punching his ticket to WrestleMania 42. On Monday Night Raw after Royal Rumble, the original Tribal Chief had an intense promo battle against CM Punk. He didn't waste time and chose to face the best in the world at the Showcase of the Immortals. The OTC hasn't been seen on the Stamford-based promotions programming since announcing his match with Punk. The former undisputed WWE champion is advertised to appear on TV in March. However, Reigns could make his shocking return to World Wrestling Entertainment at the upcoming Elimination Chamber 2026 Premium Live event. Reigns could interfere in CM Punk and Finn Balor's World Heavyweight Championship contest. He could shockingly attack the Prince instead of going after his rival, the best in the world. Reigns could declare that he wants to be the one to dethrone Punk, and everyone in his way would be destroyed. The OTC could cost the Judgment Day member his match to accomplish his goal. A potential attack on Balor by the OTC could lay the foundation for their future bout. Moreover, it could intensify his rivalry with the Second City Saint, who would not be pleased with the interference. That being said, the angle proposed above is speculative, and only time will tell how the title match plays out. In an interview on Insight with Chris Van Vliet, former United States champion Rusev spoke about the League of Nations, which included him, Sheamus, Alberto Del Rio, and Wade Barrett. The Bulgarian Brute revealed that the faction was formed to feud with Roman Reigns. I think they needed somebody for Roman, to be honest. I think that's how they came up with it. It was not like, oh, we have this great idea for these four guys. I think they needed somebody for Roman to be a babyface, and that's why they put us together. Which was fun, he said.